surveillance video many are finding disturbing. A woman kicked in the head by a police officer. The officer's trial is continuing today. Eyewitness News reporter Sean Daly joins us live with the latest on our top local story from the Providence Mobile Newsroom.
Suspended Lincoln police officer Edward Krawitz sat in court for a second straight day of testimony on an ugly charge that prosecutors say is backed up by video from a security camera. The suspended patrolman is accused of felony assault of a woman outside the Twin River slot parlor in Lincoln back in May of '09. Prosecutors say video images from a security camera show Officer Krawitz kicking Donna Levesque in the head after she makes a sweeping motion toward him with her leg. She was sitting on a curb in handcuffs outside Twin River after the police had escorted her out of a bar inside for what Officer Krawitz's partner characterized today as intoxicated, angry, and belligerent behavior. The two police officers were waiting for a third Lincoln police officer who would drive Donna Levesque to the Lincoln police station where she would be charged with disorderly conduct. Today, the defendant's fellow police officer at Twin River that evening testified that Officer Krawitz never expressed concern for his own safety, never said he feared serious bodily injury, never yelled out that he was in pain, and never sought medical attention. When the prosecutor asked whether Donna Levesque ever said anything as she moved her leg to try to kick Officer Krawitz, Officer Russell Enos testified that she said, quote, "Don't look in my purse." He testified that Officer Krawitz was looking for her identification in her purse. We're told that Officer Russell Enos is one of several Lincoln police officers expected to testify today.
I'm going to talk about something that recently happened in school. Approximately 3 p.m., dismissals at 3:18. 3 p.m., I was assisting a student who had been assaulted by another student with an object thrown at him, and I was talking to him, and the teacher comes over and says, "Shut up. Say one more thing, you're out." And did you just see what happened to them? Then I said, "This is America. This is not a dictatorship." She said, "Leave." So I left. I sat down in the office. 10 minutes till school gets out. Said, "What am I being written up for? Disrespect. I'm told to leave." Then, you know what, I'm going to get riled up. So then they say, "Robert, you're going to have to be quiet." Why do I have to be quiet? Be quiet. Why do I have to be quiet? Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up and go in that room! What a disrespectful kid. Bad kid. Went out and said, "You know what the First Amendment is, right? You know what the First Amendment is? Free speech, freedom of press, yada yada, etc." They didn't know what it was. America is not a dictatorship. America is not where you can tell me to shut up. You can't tell me to shut up for talking about the Constitution in school. The right to talk about it. They said, "We're calling law enforcement." Sure enough, they got on the phone. "We need a police officer down here now." That's what they said. "We need a police officer down here now." So this country is becoming where a 14-year-old talking about the First Amendment has the police call him. You know what this is called? A police state. You know what they want me to do? Give up my civil liberties. These office ladies, the principal, these teachers, they're all in higher power than the students. They do not like it when you question authority. They don't want an educated form of republic. They want a dumbed-down republic that'll listen to everything they say and believe everything they say. You'll believe everything. I mentioned the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. I was told to shut up, shut my mouth, and I had the police called on me. I did nothing criminal. They want me to hand over my liberties. When you bring up your rights, they want to smash you down. They will call the police on you just to get you to give up what you believe. So I'm leaving the school right now, 3:20. I'm leaving the school. Here comes a police officer. "Come with me now." Why I didn't do anything criminal. She goes, "If you don't come to the office, I'm going to put you in cuffs." Right in front of about 80 students. "I'm going to put you in cuffs." So you're going to cuff a 14-year-old for not returning to the office after talking about the Bill of Rights. I said, "You know what, this is exactly what I want. This is exactly what I want. I want to accomplish something in life." I know if they're calling the police on me for mentioning the Bill of Rights, I know that a police state is coming. I know that I'm right after all. I know that many Americans like me are getting this accomplished. There's a police state coming and we're going to stop it.
Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is January 6th, 2012, and I'm Darko. This is kind of like part 2 of this news bulletin, and you just saw it right there, planting drugs. First, that student, just for mentioning, or actually he just started to help a student out, and you have to let the authorities do it. You can't take it upon yourself to to help other individuals. You leave that up to the authorities, and then when you question them, you get the handcuffs, and the police come and get you. And then, of course, you saw the poor black guy. How many times has that happened, man? I mean, it happens to everybody, but it seems like it happens to them a lot. And you saw him planting drugs in his car. And that's how they do. Oh, don't go. He just said, go ahead, wave him on. Oh, don't worry. We don't need anything. We don't need anything. We just plant drugs on them. That's what we do, man. The CIA and all them, they bring in the drugs to fund their wars that we don't know about. And then, it's all big business. The police state, the fraternal brotherhood order, that doesn't swear an oath of the Constitution, the police, they'll just haul you off to the Huskow, and it'll be on your record. And good luck trying to find a job. And then if you're out in public, if you argue with the police because you get taken out or something for whatever reason, like that lady, she made a sweeping thing with her leg. Now that's not too smart, but either way, a little judo kick to the head to a female who's already on the ground and subdued isn't very manly, but that's just the way it is nowadays. So I left off with here, and I think I'm going to skip this and stick with this theme because down in Texas they actually have a truancy task force team, special forces for truant students who don't want to get indoctrinated and brainwashed in the re-education camps. And it's kind of interesting because I have an article on. I talked about this before, that when you put your children in these schools, it's really like a foster care. It's a free foster care, except it's paid by taxpayer dollars. And then look at this article I found today. Babies in big school. Is your child ready? Babies in big school as parents dodge child care fees. Women saved $10,000 by enrolling her son in a brainwashing camp. People are doing it because child care is just so expensive, and they have to do that. Why? Because of economic warfare. They're working harder and longer for less. Forget the 9 to 5. Brits now arrive at the office at 8:09 a.m. and leave at 5:22 p.m. So what happens at these re-education camps? Well, they're getting smarter, right? Well, wrong. It says here, more time at school boosts the IQ. That's what you think because, well, the British Crown and that and their public relations arm, the BBC, is putting this out. Spending more time at school may increase intelligence, according to a study of Norwegian men. Okay, so it boosts IQ, right? Well, like I said, it's wrong. The deliberate dumbing down of America. You can go in there and check out Charlotte Iserbyt and her book and her website. That's her book. And she basically goes in there and says that the point of education and the curriculum basically was to dumb down the American population. So that 14-year-old student was actually correct when he said that. It is actually really, I don't really know how to put it, but it's for defense purposes. The first purpose, of course, is to have a population that is so dumb that they can't realize that, well, they're getting screwed over. The second, of course, is to find and locate and target the resistors, the many future leaders, the people that question authority, to beat that out of them, those who question authority, and to do away with anything that has to do with the family, spirituality, anything like that. So SAT writing scores hit a low. It says here, SAT scores for high school graduating class of 2011 fell in all 3 subject areas, and the average reading and writing scores were the lowest ever recorded, according to data released on Wednesday. That was September 15th, 2011. So they are achieving their goal. Grim illiteracy statistics indicate Americans have a reading problem. That's pretty interesting. So what do, right? What do they do? Because they got to boost the numbers. America's biggest teacher and principal cheating scandal unfolds in Atlanta again in 2011 in July. At least 178 teachers and principals in Atlanta public schools cheated to raise student scores on high-stakes standardized tests, according to a report from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Next up, We have 100 pounds to play truant. Schools accused of bribing worst pupils to stay away when the Ofsted inspectors, and apparently they do it to their teachers as well. And then we have this, children becoming addicted to computers. And next we have in Florida, virtual classrooms with no teachers. This is January 17th, 2011. They're called virtual classrooms or e-learning labs. And it's a program in which core subjects are taken using computers in a classroom with no teacher. So this is the irony, right? Is that it's time for this. It's time for these students to be hooked into the matrix. They want to be hooked into the matrix. They have been groomed. They have been conditioned for it. I don't use that word a lot, but they have been conditioned and programmed. Programmed, I do use that word, but they've been programmed and conditioned for what is coming. And that one person that in the beginning of the video, he's one of the few. He's one of the resistors, and that's why they wanted to make an example out of him, to tell the other people to not be resistors. So another way to dumb down our future is fluoride. Abstract of new IQ study from Iran says that based on the findings and the conclusion, the chronic exposure to high levels of fluoride can be one factor that influenced the intellectual development. And next we have what in most schools? Junk food. Junk food diet linked to lower IQ. And what's most of that junk food made of? Well, pesticide linked stuff. So pesticide exposure in womb linked to lower IQ. Then I saw this, children who are spanked have lower IQs. New research find. So it's groundbreaking. Why is it groundbreaking? Because, well, it's BS most likely. Why? Because they don't want the family to have control over itself. They want the state to take control of the family, and they don't want the family disciplining their children. They want the state to do that. And that is why you have people out at Walmart and Target where their kids are crying and crying and crying and crying for however long, and the parent does absolutely nothing. And I'm not that old. Like I said, I was born in 1980, but I remember being at Venture. It's closed now, and that place was a zoo, Venture. I don't know if you guys remember that, the black and white strip, like a Kmart. I remember being in there, and if I did see something like that, which wasn't all that much, but you'll see it, there's a screaming kid, whatever, they got spanked, whether it was a white parent or black parent, you know what I mean? They got taken aside, and it was taken care of. I'm sorry I drug on about that, but I'm actually kind of tired. I haven't had much sleep in the last couple of days, but it says here, I just want to get to this before I'm done. Obama launches Bureau of Counterterrorism. This is a big deal, and this is basically a department of counterterrorism, guys. This is for the dissenters, and it says here it's government's effort to counter terrorism abroad and secure the United States corporation against the foreign terrorist threats and, of course, domestic, and seek to strengthen homeland security, countering violent extremism, and build the capacity of partner nations to deal effectively with terrorism, i.e., just like the Pentagon, it's going to be a global anti-terrorism department. Says here that their activities have some bearing on domestic security. They're going to work jointly to stop terrorist travel to improve aviation security, i.e. more groping and backroom shows and stuff like that, body scanners. So this is what Obama was talking about with getting rid of the Army. This is the new Army with the intelligence, reconnaissance, and surveillance. I.e. people, walking around with their cell phones, snapping pictures of certain individuals out in public and tracking them. More trolls on the internet. So this is what I'm talking about. Suspicious activity reports from the U.S. malls being processed by police state fusion centers. And then we have Big Brother malls trigger privacy rules that they're installing equipment to spy on shoppers via their mobile phones. Panel to examine new law against drug driving. But apparently there's a problem. They don't know how to tell. Well, this is how they're going to do it. Just a little prick of the finger. It says here, propose making the state the first in the country to take mandatory DNA samples from anyone convicted of a crime, including relatively lesser offenses. Then we have the criminals in uniform. Almost 1,000 police officers with convictions from drug dealing to perverting justices are still in the police.